Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams to about the 35, 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing is Wilson. Got an open man here, and it's K.J. Hamler. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. Throw over the middle, going to be caught here by Mo Alley-Cox. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The Broncos had 1 and 6 now, and they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
To throw again on 2nd down, Wilson. And this is incomplete.
Well, I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the 1st down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Wilson. Got a man complete. It's Hamler. And he will have a Broncos 1st down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earn a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle, it's Williams. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates.
Touchdown, Broncos! Mo Alley-Cox, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos are on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point from McManus is good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And that one bounces out of the back of the end zone, so we'll start the drive at the 25 on the touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Herbert off of play action. And this is caught. First catch for Keenan Allen. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The defense surrenders a 13-yard pass play there on 3rd and 1.
Now, how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football. Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
He's airing it out for Williams. And got his man complete. A big play there for L.A. 46 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defensive credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
On 2nd and goal, Herbert. Touchdown, Chargers. Austin Eckler from 8 yards out. And the Chargers are an extra point away from evening this one up. Extra point good by Hopkins. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. In the midst of, well, let's just say a not-so-rosy losing streak. They've got the open week, though, coming up next weekend, so you have to figure this to be a game that they dearly love to have.
Oh, indeed. They have to have this one because that's something positive to take with you when you go away for a few days, and it actually releases your mind. If they lose this one, that mind stays cluttered the entire time they're away, and they've got to scramble to get back in sync when they start playing again.
7-7, our score after 1. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 40 now on 2nd down. Wilson. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. It's a gain of 35.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just have receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like...
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, that's an excellent way to get the pass rush activated. The first sack of the game for them, comes on the first play of the drive, and it makes it very tough for the opponent to pick up a first down now, playing behind the sticks.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards the pickup there.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Herbert now. He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And the Broncos are going to take possession of the football. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
That's good for 28 yards.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on 1st and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. 1st and goal, and you throw the pick.
And it's a fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it. And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. Throwing on 2nd and 3. Herbert. Got an open man. It's Josh Palmer. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw here, Herbert. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Herbert. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Randy Gregory. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Herbert jogs off, and out comes Dustin Hopkins to take this kick for L.A. on 4th down. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. Hopkins' kick is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Fields it right around the goal line. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. This is Hamler on the receiving end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now Wilson on first down. Now that's into the hands of Mo Alley-Cox, the tight end. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Wilson will throw again. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step in?
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Patrick Queen got in there to stick him. He gets the sack.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the 2nd down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the 2nd quarter. For one more time, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. So we've hit halftime, just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already. And it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete. Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
So now 3rd and 10. They had the big play to start the drive, but 2 incompletions since. Here's Wilson to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Derwin James with a pick. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Running on 1st down, Eckler. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up 1st and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he will get in across the chalk for a Chargers touchdown. Austin Eckler, his 3rd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Chargers take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. It's good to make it 17-7. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one, as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Wilson. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. It's another 1st down on what will be a gain of 21 yards.
A couple of 1st downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
Throwing now, Wilson on 1st down. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion, and when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points, and the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
He gets it to Cooks, and he's brought to the ground with another 1st down at the Chargers' 29-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
What would look like a march to the end zone has hit a momentary roadblock with that incompletion. No need to panic. They just got to come up with a high percentage play call and see if they can get their offense back on track.
2nd and 10 now. Third quarter action in Denver. Play action. Now Wilson. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move.
That's a pretty throw right there. That ball's in the air a long time, but it's right on the money on the right sideline. A really good route. Moving the defenders towards the middle of the field before breaking to the sideline. What a completion there. Big-time arm strength. Very nice route.
And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Wilson. Into the hands of Patrick left side. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now Wilson. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Chargers are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, I mean, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
The Charger drive about to get going. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
On 2nd and 11 now. Herbert. Williams brings it in. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. He's up to 88 yards receiving in the ballgame now, and he's got a first down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. From the 36, Herbert. Allen's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, it's Herbert. And this one is incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops and escape this drive.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Baron Browning able to record his 5th sack of the season. A CD, a little bit of feast or famine for him. He's had some success throwing the football, but also now he's been sacked 4 times.
Yeah, you just mentioned the 4 sacks, but you're right. He has managed to hang in there and make plays at times. His offensive line, they've got to figure it out and pick things up and give him more opportunities, and he has to help them by getting rid of the ball a little bit quicker as well.
3rd and long, it's Herbert. That is caught. It's Williams. He's got room at the 30. Down to the 10. Touchdown, L.A. Mike Williams, 60 yards. And the Chargers look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Taken at the goal line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
This defense has certainly had an outstanding second half, haven't they? I know they just gave up a 1st down there, and for the offense, they're hoping that that's something that they can jumpstart with and maybe start to move the ball a little bit better. But it's been tough sledding for them here the entire second half.
The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built off the efforts of this defense.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. After the turnover, here's Herbert. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Baron Browning able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 2. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. And the Broncos will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. After the interception, here's Wilson. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance. The passing game's off balance.
And now here is another interception. Picked off by Nasir Adderley. And the Chargers will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here, not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. Up the middle with Eckler. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 52 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. This is a counter play. Eckler.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
With the late lead, Herbert's going to throw it. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Malik McDowell in there to record another sack, and that is now 6 on the afternoon for this defensive unit. On 3rd down, here's Eckler. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as he'll get it with still 1:20 left to go in the game.
When the 4-3 defense is functioning really well, you know who stays what we call clean and no one gets to him? The guy playing the middle linebacker position, the guy we call Mike. That means the defensive front is eating up all the blocks and just let him go to the football and make a play.
And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Joey Bosa picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack, just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
Yeah, if you can hold a team to 7 points in the NFL, that's the kind of day that you feel really good about. Now, I do know a few guys are going to think to themselves, held them to 7. If we'd made one more play, could have had our shutout.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They're going to pass here with Herbert. They'll find Everett there, complete. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. He finds his target, Allen. And he's going to be taken down. Plus, there's a penalty flag in the backfield. They may get 15 more on top of this. So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. A shotgun snap for Herbert. He finds his receiver, Williams, for a Charger touchdown. Mike Williams, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Chargers look like they're about to put an end to their 2-game losing streak as they add on to their lead. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead is now 24. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence and made it happen.